but I see what you're probably struggling with. Like, she says the line kind of early, and then you kind of have to fill the scene with motion. But I'd love to find a way to have him just lunge onto the thing and then jump straight out into the distance.
Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse tells the story of Miles Morales, who is unexpectedly approached by his love interest, Gwen Stacy, to complete a mission to save every universe of Spider people from the Spot, who could cause a disaster.
You know what would be really great is you could use him, this little kid, to come around here. Right?
Oh, like run from the
he
foreground?
runs, he comes into this shot and then come around, and then he kind of
Sure.
looks to the guy like, ooh, you know, and does that little thing. But it gives you something much more to play with.
Sure.
Today we'll be exploring this story and the behind the scenes of how this story and the animation unfolded. But before we get into more of these moments, some trivia for you. In the first film, Into the Spider-Verse, what is the number 42 a reference to? Leave your answers in the comments down below and stick around to the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
And then she's got like really strong, heavy light on the other side, you know, that she's like trying not to, she's trying to shield.
I think go back to, I think there's something really pretty about just allowing, you know.
And when we look closely at the behind the scenes moments, it's really fascinating to see the animators in action.
I'm from Illinois.
We're talking about it, aren't we?
Ooh, that's cool.
I mean, it's more of a meta commentary on what we call art. We're talking about it.
That's cool.
That is new.
That is. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait.
And just how precise they are. Even with just a simple moment, as opening the door, one of the animators talks about the person walking through the door looking a certain way before she walks in, and to make it look more natural.
I think this looks great. I'd like to try one where she starts opening the door a little sooner, but her head is dragging even more. So that way, we still get only the same amount of time of her face at the end.
And working with animation, it's kind of better in a way because the director and creator has complete control over the facial features of each character. It doesn't have to go through an actor or actress to get the right emotion down. They can just draw it.
I can hear you being quiet, Mom.
I hope I didn't ice your game, man.
No one my age says those words in that order.
I've studied some designs of animation in my time and can tell the difference between claymation, 3D animation, hand-drawn animation, and watercolor animation, which is what the Disney film coming up, Wish, is. And this is kind of what it reminds me of.
Have them both in the shot, so you get that sense of ambiance,
Cool. Cool.
right?
Yeah.
So it's
Same idea.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Pull the
Just-
camera back a little bit, and then that way we can make this a moment, right?
Right.
However, this animation style is different. The final look of the film was inspired by comic book printing techniques and made liberal use of half-toning and half-hatching.
Really good. Just want to see one thing. This angle. Yeah, I think this is good.
The Spider-Verse isn't traditional CGI, but rather a slew of new rendering styles mixed in with hand-drawn elements.
But we see more of her body and stuff when she's not looking away. So like right now, she kind of comes into the shot at about, I don't know, frame 1036.
A VFX supervisor on the film chimed in and explained what the goal was for the final result, saying, "We wanted the film to have a hand-drawn look because one of the things that's really beautiful and interesting about illustration is a freedom to draw what is most emotional and impactful without being constrained by realism or what is correct."
Obliterated
Right.
by that lighting. So, because right now it's like hard to, it's hard to really tell where she.
We get to hear from the voice cast, Hailee Steinfeld and Shameik Moore, about the roles in the film, and even though it was just voicing roles,
Let's show this one later too. I'm sure they'll have a little note, but I think you're in the realm. Right?
As long as the character for the Scarlet.
Oh, nice.
During all the fighting scenes, they do still have to do some sound effects and animating characters while the characters are fighting. So it's interesting to hear from the voice actors and what the most demanding physical part they had to do and how they did it.
I do all sorts of things, honestly. Oh!
Yeah.
Gwen! Peter! Ah!
Yeah, right?
I am Spider-Man!
You just got a whole performance right there.
We get to hear more from Hailee as her role of Gwen Stacy, and she talks more about her character.
I'm so excited to be a part of this film where I think my character is also very much in that place in life where like you're entering, really stepping into your own, really understanding what that means, walking in your purpose, living your life as who you are unapologetically.
But real quick, make sure you guys check out our Instagram page linked down in the description. There's a ton of interview moments and memes, so make sure you check it out and give us a follow.
Actually is, and then there's like the really bright core needs to stay there so that I don't have the right colors, but the idea being that she's like really strongly lit on one side.
We even get to delve deeper into the Gwen and Miles relationship. We also get to hear about the evolution of her character from the first film to now.
With more confidence, understanding the process and what it entails. I think the first time around I really didn't know what to expect or what was going on half the time, but this one I knew the team. We were lucky enough to come back with the same.
Of course, we can compare the Spider-Man we know from this film and the Spider-Man that we know from the comics. Now, is the story based on the comics? No. However, the character is.
While there is so much action and so many different styles of animation that you'll discover in this film, it is so grounded in its emotion and in its characters. And while there are many storylines going on, you never lose sight of the heart in this film.
This is a Spider-Man from an alternate universe, so the comic shows Oscorp recreating a spider with the same radioactive properties that bites Peter. The film, however, just shows us this new radioactive spider that bites Miles.
That I get to play is a guy named Miguel O'Hara, who's half Mexican, half Irish, Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2099 in Nueva York, future Spider-Man. And what makes him so funny is that he's like the one not funny Spider-Man, you know? Right.
Now, it could either be an Oscorp creation from this universe or a spider that came in from another dimension.
Like, one side is like shadowed, right? And it needs to be in the palette of what's going on in the scene. Like the yellow stuff needs to take over. And then she's got like really strong, heavy light on the other side.
When it comes to his powers, they have some similarities to Peter Parker's. His spider sense is known to be weaker than Peter's, but there is no specific mention of that in the movie.
Have to do that. I think a lot of people have this sort of misconception that, you know, you are just in a booth in front of a microphone and you do just kind of shout the lines or whatnot. But I think as someone who walked into this only knowing live action, not being able to move is not an option.
Additionally, Miles can blend with his surroundings, making him near invisible. So they did choose to be a little bit creative and change up the abilities.
How this movie was, built by 1,000 people all rowing in the same direction, trying to make something special and new and interesting and emotional, and when it all comes together like that, it's really exciting.
Shameik Moore and Daniel joined together for an interview and talk about this film as well in terms of working with animation and being very precise on voice work.
I get really, I don't know what, when I'm in something, I'm trying to serve the script. So I'm trying to serve the arc and the evolution, but I'm like, well, what I'm gonna do, and this is that and the other. And then what's the process gonna be? I've never done animation before in that sort of way. Actually, no, I have done a series and that, but it was just like, this is on a different level.
The directors even join in and discuss cameos and the works that other crew members were responsible for.
Well, one fun fact is that our friend Taran gets to play Web Slinger.
This is Taran Killam, who the actor from Saturday Night Live, who also writes the Web Slinger comics. He got to voice him. That's a really
And he's
fun.
our old friend ever since the How I Met Your Mother days.
In other news, people have been wondering if there is going to be a third version of the Spider-Verse. A third movie has been greenlit called Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse and has also been given a March 2024 release date.
I think that was the intent, was to stop being, by this point in the film, things stop trying to be too literal and it just becomes this emotional, palette for these moments of heightened drama.
Producer Chris Miller has been teasing what we can expect, saying, quote, "The development of new groundbreaking art techniques being done for the next Spider-Verse movie are already blowing me away. It's going to make the first movie look quaint, in other words, unusual. It's all designed to wow you every time you enter a new environment, and also to make sure that the style of the movie reflect the story."
Uses the formula of what worked in Into the Spider-Verse and kind of really explode off of it, you know? So if Into the Spider-Verse takes it to the sky, like the whole sky's the limit thing, the sky has now become our floor, you know, we're stepping on it.
And as far as the answer to our trivia question, the spider that bit Miles was numbered 42, and the winning lottery number that got him a spot in Brooklyn Vision's Academy was also 42. This is a homage to the famous baseball player Jackie Robinson, whose jersey number was 42.
I learned very quickly that I had to stop wearing hoodies with zippers because that was an issue. So there's definitely like a wardrobe that no one sees that you have to get, that you have to be prepared to wear.
So we wanted to turn this around to you guys. What are your expectations about this film, and what do you hope to happen about the next Spider-Verse film? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.
There was a bunch of us doing it, and I was like, there's no way that I went through that whole thing by myself. So, second time around, I was like, if there is gonna be another time, put me in the booth. So we had a lot of time together, and that was amazing.